Warren Buffett is a great investor and his achievements are well known. You can read about him on Google. Today, we will try to understand his thought process by analyzing some of his quotes. His first quote is, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." To understand this quote, we need to understand another one of his quotes. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. This means that when people are very greedy, you should be afraid. And when everyone is afraid in the market, you should start to become greedy. So, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. This is because the impatient people will lose money to the patient people. In fact, the most important quality in the stock market is patience. If you do not have patience, you should stay away from the stock market. Many people have lost a lot of money in the stock market because they do not understand the basics and think of it as a scheme. If you look carefully at his cycle, he is an investor. We need to understand the difference between a speculator and an investor. Speculation is trying to time the market. You are thinking about whether this stock will go up or down. You are investing based on the price of the stock today and what it will be tomorrow. If you are doing this, you are a speculator. If you are investing based on the price of the stock in the stock market, you are a speculator. Speculation is almost impossible because it is impossible to time the market. No one can tell what will happen in the market tomorrow. If you invest in the stock market in this way, you may make some money in the short term, but you will lose money in the long term. However, if you want to make money in the stock market, you need to understand that people who have made money, such as Warren Buffett, have been investing in the stock market for more than 70 years, not for 1 year, 2 years, or 10 years. He started with only a few $1,000s and is now one of the richest people in the world. This is also possible in the stock market. There are also many examples of people who have lost everything in the stock market. The biggest difference between speculators and investors is that speculators follow their emotions. There are two emotions in the market, greed and fear. When everyone is greedy, speculators become even more greedy. They are called bulls. When everyone is afraid, speculators become even more fearful. They are called bears. When the market is going up, they think it will go up more and more. When everyone is greedy, they are also greedy. When the market crashes and goes down, people panic. They think the market will fall more and more. They also start saying that the market will fall more and more. What is the biggest difference between an investor and a speculator? When a speculator is buying, real investors are selling. When speculators are selling in fear, investors are buying. If you are a real investor, an intelligent investor, you can never lose money in the long term. If you are a speculator, you cannot make money in the long term. A person who is impatient, that is, who acts according to his emotions, will lose money, and the one who has patience will make money. How much patience do you need? Warren Buffett has another quote for that. Warren Buffett was once asked what his favorite holding period was for any stock. Speculators have a holding period of a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, or a few months at most. If you ask them to buy something today and see what happens in 10 years, they will say that no one has seen 10 years. So their holding period is very short. So someone asked him what his holding period was and how long he thought a share should be held. He replied, Warren Buffett, "My favorite holding period is forever." That much patience is required if you want to invest in the stock market and actually make money. Now, if you want to understand the secret of Buffett's massive success, you need to understand the foundation of his strategy. The book in my hand is called The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. You can call them his teacher. Why? Because if you read this book, the preface was written by Warren Buffett. And what does he say in it? I had the first edition of this book in 1950 when I was 19. I thought then that it was far the best book on investing and returns, and he goes on to say, I still think it is. Even today, he still thinks that, even after achieving so much, the best book on stock market investing is this. If you are sincere. If you are thinking of making money in the stock market or entering the stock market, you must read this book. If you don't read the whole book, there are 2 chapters that Warren Buffett himself has strongly recommended. Read those 2 chapters. You can say that the crux of this whole book, it is in those 2 chapters. That is chapter number 8 and chapter number 20. There are some points from this book that I will touch on here so that we can understand the difference between a speculator and an investor. It is said that a stock is not just a ticket symbol and an electronic. It is an ownership interest in an actual business.
We call underlying value that does not depend on its share price.
Yes, it is the essence of the whole book, the crux of investment philosophy. What Warren Buffett said that I want to hold a business forever. What does it mean? How does an investor think that I have become the owner in that company by buying shares of that company? This is not just to make you happy. It is a fact who is the owner, a shareholder, and the directors of that company are actually that company's employees who are working for you, for whom the owner is who the shareholders are. They're getting salary for the work they're doing, but who gets the profit? The shareholder gets it. So what does it mean to buy shares? To become an owner in a business? To own a business? If you have such thinking, then you are an investor. The stock market is not just that the price is going up and down. In fact, the price of that business. In the majority of cases, there is no connection at all. The value of the business may be very high, but the price may have broken down completely because people's emotions are not right about that business or some negative news has come. On the other hand, it is also possible that there is no strength in the business at all. It is a completely useless business, but its price, the price of the share, is very high. So the connection of the investor is mainly with how much strength is there in the business.
If that business was not listed in the stock market and I had to buy that business, how much money would I give to buy that business? It first calculates that value and then looks at it according to that price. I am paying is less than that value or more. If it is less than it is very good, it means we are getting gold at brass price. And if it is more, then it means we are getting brass at gold price. Do not buy it even if the whole world is buying it. This concept is called margin of safety. Chapter 20 is all about this. That our investment decisions can also be wrong, so there should be a margin of safety. That is, if you have bought it for the actual value of the business or less than that, then you are safe. But if you have bought it at a much higher price, then you are unsafe. It can crash at any time. In it, another very amazing example is given in chapter number 8 that if you do not want to read even 2 chapters and only want to read 1 chapter, then it is chapter number 8 in which the market has been given a name. The stock market has been given a name, Mr. Market. You imagine that? You own a business whose value is $1,000 and this Mr. Market is ringing the bell of your house daily and coming to tell you the value that today your $1,000 has become $1,100. You have to buy, you have to sell, and then ring the bell that today it has become $800. Then comes and rings the bell that today it has become $1,400. So what does Mr. Market do? He comes and tells you daily the price. The actual price of your business does not match your business. In fact, Mr. Market has been given a very interesting name, which is certified lunatic. Lunatic means crazy or stupid that he is crazy. Logic does not work there. Emotions are working there. The grid is working. Logic does not work. It may be that the value of a business is 100 rupees and the price of that business is 10 rupees. It may also be that the value of a business is 100 rupees and its price is 10,000 rupees. Then there is no logic. So what do investors do? They do not go according to the market. What does the industrialist do? First finds out the value of a business. What is the actual value of this company? Suppose it is $1,000. Now he asks Mr. Market. That is, he looks at its rate in the market. What is the rate? $600. Buy, there is no fear. Okay, this is the value of this business. How much is it getting for $1,000? $10,000, stay away. Even if the whole market is running behind that stock like crazy, even if it is the stock market's favorite stock. But stay away from it. Money is made in the long term. Best upon because what is the value of the business? Then you should know how to calculate the value of the business. You should know some basic ratios about it. What is EPS? What does PTEPS means, earning per share? What is its connection with the price? How much is the company's growth in the last 5 years? How much is the top line growing? How much is the bottom line growing? What is this company going to do in the future? How is it going to do it? Then the company's quarterly earnings calls are there. You have to listen to it, or if it has transcripts, then you have to read their annual report. Speculators do not do all this. Speculators works according to tips. A friend came and said to buy it, this share is going to double. He bought it. And then instead of doubling, its rate decreased 10 times. And now he is sitting and crying that I have been looted. I am ruined. What do investors do? Read the company's annual report, which report is sometimes 200 pages and 300 pages. Can the founders of that company be trusted? Who are the auditors of that company? Can the auditors be trusted? What is his past record? What is there in the future in that business, which is extraordinary? What is his advantage? This is called competitive advantage. If someone else comes to that business and copies its business idea, then will he be able to do it or not? Will it take him 10 years or 20 years to do it? Then all these things are seen? Who sees this? An investor sees it, looks at it exactly in the same way as if he's doing that business himself. When we do a business ourselves, what do we see? We just have to see that when we buy a stock of a business. One more very interesting thing is being said in it. Let's understand that too. The market is like pendulum that forever swings between unsustainable optimism, which makes the stock too expensive, and unjustified pessimism, which makes them too cheap. The intelligent investor is a realist, which means that he is neither optimistic nor pessimistic. Neither is he excited nor depressed. That means he acts on the basis of reality, not emotions. So you can also say that in order to move forward in the stock market, or to be successful, or to achieve anything big, it is not necessary that you have a very strong qualification. If you are very educated, you will earn a lot of money in the stock market. There's nothing like that. You need a common sense approach. You need to understand the basic business fundamentals. You should understand that the business in which I am putting money, what is this business? How much power is there in it? If it is there and it is available cheaply, then buy it. That is, you may think that they are doing the same thing. Because what does the speculator do? He also wants to buy cheaply and sell expensively. What is the investor doing? He is also doing the same thing, buying cheaply and wants to sell expensively. Both are doing the same thing if you look at it from a higher level, but if you understand both of their strategies carefully, what is their center point? The price of the stock, and who is driving it? His emotions. What is the difference between the investor? What is the center point of his investment strategy? The value of the business is not the value of the stock. Because there is no value of the stock, there is a stock price, the price of the share. The value is of the business. So the choice is in your hands whether you want to speculate in the stock market or invest. If you want to speculate, then there is no need for this book. There is no need to understand Warren Buffett. All these things are not needed, whatever I have done today. But if you want to invest, then you have to read this book, Intelligent Investor. You have to understand it, and if you can't even read the whole book, remember chapter 820. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.